So ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here. I'm gonna go ahead and share my slides right away so I can get into, because we have a lot of information to cover. But it really is I just messed that up. Yeah, don't worry, I fixed it. I can do this. I've done this before, I swear. So it's an honor really to be here with every single one of you. I want to first start off and tell you that a little bit about my story, so we're not complete strangers. Not to go into it too long, but about 6.5 years, 7 years ago, I get into an accident where I break both my legs. I ended up in a wheelchair. At the time I was owning gyms, and I was not able to tend to my businesses. And I had a mentor once told me, and I was taking a mentorship call from this gentleman that's worth about $200 million. And he said in the call, he said, David, if you have an income or a business that depends on you being there, you're in trouble, because the moment you're not there, income stops. And that was my reality. I was 5 months behind. I fell 5 months behind on my rent, 5 months behind on my income, 5 months. I was hiding my car in my next door neighbor's garage because got a repo status. I mean, it was the worst place financially of my life. But fortune came my way when I found a unique opportunity. And thanks to the mentorship of Mr. Michael, not knowingly, in his system and things that we worked with some of the things that he taught us, I mean, we were able to have a lot of success. And now joining and coming here to GPS, I think this is just an opportunity for all the collective experience that I have had over the few years that I can bring this to the table. And I want to tell you that that's what this represents. This company does not just represent a new opportunity. Yes, that's the obvious. It represents a new opportunity, but this opportunity represents a new beginning for your life. I want you to think about this. I want you to know that it truly represents a new beginning for you. It's a new company with a new opportunity, new timing for your life, marketing a new trend, a new technology. It's a new season for your life. And I want you to take that in for what it is, because it's very, very easy for us to bring old habits from the past and bring them to new opportunities. So let me tell you, you can change you can change cars, you can change a Ferrari, but if you put the same old man in the same car, you're gonna have the same experience. So forget about what has happened. You might have been extremely successful in the past. You might have not no success in the past. Who knows? But yesterday's home runs don't win today's game, and yesterday's failures and yesterday's mistakes don't define your future. So when you come into this opportunity, for those of you that are seeing this, some of you are coming in from a different opportunity, let go of the past. Let go of the pain. Let go of old beliefs. Let go of old habits. Rewrite your narrative. This is a new opportunity for you and I to create a new story, to be the hero, a new hero in our movie. And this is the opportunity for you and I to turn the page and enter a new chapter within our lives, not within business, but I want you to look at this as your entire life. This is a new change, a new opportunity to leave old habits behind and make new decisions for your life. And it starts here. It starts with, first of all, your mindset. It starts with determining your reason why you're doing this business. Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. And I think it's one of the best books out there written. In fact, he interviewed the 500 most successful people on the planet. It took him 20 years to write it. In fact, he wrote it from the year 1915 to 1935. He interviewed the 500 most successful people on the planet. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, the Rockefellers, in every field, the Carnegies, he interviewed them all. He came out with 13 principles they had in common. Jim Rohn says, don't you need to know that? Don't you want to know that? The 13 things that 500 most successful people have in common. And here's one of the first principle. The first principle is this. He said, the starting point of all achievement is a white-hot burning desire. You got to know what you want and get really obsessed about what you want. I think that this, to me, is one of the most important things. There's a book out there that if you haven't read it, I recommend this amazing book. The book is called the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, and also the other book is the Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And Darren Hardy writes a story it's one of my favorite stories about two tribes. When there's a tribe in the upper mountains, there's a tribe in the lower mountains. And he says they're constantly in battle. And during one of these battles, the tribe from the upper mountains stole a baby from the tribe in the lower, in the plains. And they went up the mountain, and then the warriors, the best warriors from the lower tribe said, we're gonna rescue this baby. So they set out to go out there and rescue this baby. But they went through one side, it was too rocky. They went through another side, it was too snowy. They went through another side, they hit a dead end. They went through another side, it was too wet. It was too steep. Before you know, 2 weeks passed by, and the warriors came back to their village to defeat it. Not too much time passed by, and they see a figure coming down the mountain. The warriors, thinking they're about to get attacked, they rush the figure, and they notice that it's the mother of the baby carrying the baby. And they obviously surprised, go to the mother and say, hey, how I don't get this. How did you do this? How did you conquer the mountain? We, the best warriors, couldn't do it. And the mother looks at them intensely and says, it wasn't your baby. You see, whenever you go out there and you're trying to accomplish something new in your life, you have to make it your baby. Tony Robbins says, until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, people don't change. You have to find your reason why. And that might be different for all of you. I mean, what is it? Maybe time with family. Maybe you want to be debt-free. Maybe college education, retirement, travel, both. Give more charity. I don't know what it is. Here's what I do know. There's 2 types of goals. There's intrinsic goals and extrinsic goals. Intrinsic goals are affairs of the heart. Things that give you value and they create significance within you. Extrinsic goals are trips, cars. You got to have a combination of both. But here's what I can share with you. Intrinsic goals will be the ones that really tug on you. Because success, I heard once, and I heard this from mentors, that success is about you. Significance is about others. And once you have a taste of significance, success will never be enough. You have to go out there and set goals that give you significance, and that's usually about others. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. This is the RAS for short. This is the part of your brain that notices things. This is so important to set goals because of this. Your reticular activating system is that part of your brain that notices things related to things around you. Let me give you an example. Have you ever purchased a car, and when you purchased the car, what happened? You drove up the lot, and all of a sudden you see the same car everywhere. You know, I just bought me a Lexus 350 RX, an SUV, 3-row, because I have a big family. And I never really noticed that car. I wasn't even looking for that car. I actually went to the dealership first, and then all of a sudden I found the car. But when I drove up the lot, I'm like, oh my goodness, everybody has my car. What the heck? I never noticed this car before. That was my reticular activating system at work. That is happening all the time. Now, when you set a goal, when you say, let's say you want to retire your parents, let's say you want to travel the world, you want to build an orphanage or do something great within your life, until you give it a clear clarity and you put it in front of you, your reticular activating system won't be able to notice things unless you do that. And why don't, I'm going to go into this, but why do you think we don't set goals? Here's why we don't set goals, because we don't like to specify conditions for failure. Get this. We don't like to set goals because when you set a goal, you're literally putting in failure inside your calendar, because the only way you get to succeed is through little mini failures, and then you adjust, you get back up, you adjust, you get back up and do it again, you adjust and get back up. So we don't like to set goals, so we like to keep ourselves nice and vague, so just in case, so we can avoid that pain. And we avoid that pain, but when we do that, what happens? We fail all the time. All the time we fail. So you and I have to have a clear vision of what it is. I think the Bible says without vision, the people perish. Well, the Bible Hebrew text, without vision, they cast off restraint. Meaning that when there's no restraint, when you don't have restraint, what does a teenager look like with no restraint? Well, there's no discipline. There's no commitment. There's no accountability. So you and I have to focus on what it is that we want by understanding that clarity is power. Wherever your focus goes, energy flows. So what is it that you want in your life? Get really clear about it. Sometimes it's pain. To me, I'm motivated more by pain than I am by something. Like it's just the way I work. The way that I grew up. I grew up in the hood in Puerto Rico. So I'm motivated more by pain. What I don't want to live by than I want. That's just me. What is you? So find out what it is and write it down and get to work. But you have to have the reason why and let that pull that energy and enthusiasm out of it. Let's talk about determining the proper mindset. Okay, you got to make a decision. I was surprised to when I started looking into these words. I like to look into words and find out where they came from. The word decision comes from the word the Latin word incision, which literally means to cut off all points of retreat. And I think that's one of the first things we have to do. One of my favorite stories is in fact, let me tell you, this when it comes to the decision, it's the only way you work. It's the only way this will actually make work for you. It's you cannot come in here. I wonder if this is gonna work. Maybe I'll give this a try. No. There's no such thing as trying. Try to stand up. Try to walk. What does that even look like? You either walk or you don't. So there's no such thing as trying. You got to make a clear decision. Imagine this. Think about this. Let's say that a husband and wife walked into the door, and the husband carried his wife, and he shows the brand new house to his wife, to his brand new bride. Say, honey, this is the kitchen. This is the garage. This is the baby room. This is amazing. And then the wife notices something. Notices that inside by the front door, in the corner, there's a small backpack. She walks to there, she opens the backpack, and she sees her husband's clothes in there. And she asks, hey, honey, did you forget to unpack this? Why are these backpacks by the door? And he says to her, honey, I love you, but just in case things don't work out, I have the backpacks right there. Let me ask you a question. How long do you think that relationship is going to work? Can you agree with me that relationship's already doomed for failing? Why? Because he did not make a decision. He did not cut off all points of retreat. You got to embrace the learning curve. This is going to be a learning curve for success. There's always this. Don't worry about the learning. Don't worry about if things are not going your way in the beginning. You got to have a growth mindset. There's an opportunity here for you to exercise a growth mindset. Growth mindset, you see opportunities as everything as it's a learning experience. A fixed mindset takes failure personally. They think it's me. That, oh, I failed. That must be because it's me. That means I stay the same way. This is just the way I am. I'm born this way. This is just the way I was born. No. You have a brain. You can develop. You can grow. Embrace the learning curve. Enjoy the emotional roller coaster. Steve Jobs has a quote that I love. He says, the progress. He says the success is in the process. Oh, excuse me. The process is its own reward. Steve Jobs says that, and I love that quote because that the process has its own reward. It was because I went 7 years without making no money in this industry that I was able to make money my next 7 years. I mean, literally 7 years, a learning curve where I made it $1,000 in 7 years to then coming back here. I'm not saying that's going to happen here. We have an amazing system here. However, you got to embrace the learning curve. You got to develop the right mental attitude. Everything that happens is good. Everything that happens is good. In this industry, everything that happens is good. Like, you want to make $1 million in network marketing and direct sales, here's how you do it. Every adversity brings your benefit. Most people are so focused on the door that closes that they cannot see the opportunity in the window that's open. So you got to embrace have the right mental attitude. Developing a pioneer mindset. Make no mistake, this is a brand new company. It's a brand new industry. It's a brand new, everything is brand new about this industry, the product. I mean, the trend is coming in. Everything is brand new. You got to have a pioneer's mindset. A pioneer's mindset. One of my favorite entrepreneurs out there is Elon Musk. Not because of what he has done, but because how many times he has fallen and gone back up. You see, Elon Musk started PayPal. When before he started PayPal, man, people told him they're crazy. Nobody's gonna start PayPal, and he ran into so many issues. In fact, he got kicked out of his own company because of disagreement. Eventually, they sold PayPal, and he made $300 million. What did he do? He started SpaceX. That no other private company in the world had ever started a company like a private rocket company that goes into space. Never has that been done before. They told him he was crazy. You can't compete with NASA. You're nuts. You're crazy about that. And he launched his first rocket. It fell. He launched his second rocket. It fell. He's launched his third rocket. It crashed again. Now over $200 million that he spent so far in rockets with zero return. He had one more shot at it. And he says in his documentary, okay, I can stop or I can give it all I have. But he made a decision that he cut off all points of retreat. He launched his fourth rocket, and his fourth rocket made it to orbit. Today, SpaceX has a contract with NASA, and they have done over 80 different successful launches. I mean, this is imagine what if Elon Musk would have said, you know what, my expectations are my first rocket, I'm gonna make it. No. My expectations, my first rocket, that doesn't happen. Guys, if you're trying to join a perfect company, join Amway. They have it all together already. 60 years, I promise customer service some point. I promise that everything some point. But if you want to be a part of it, innovation, you want to be a part of something big and of a vision and cast vision for people and enroll people in your vision and lead them into the future, man, this is the opportunity for you. You got to have long-term thinking. Let me tell you, there's a great book out there called Mindset by Carol Dweck. Amazing book. I recommend everybody. And she did a study with 150 students where they were entering a 4-year program, music program. This 150 students. They went ahead and interviewed this 150 students. And they asked them, how long are you planning on playing this instrument? And they received 3 different answers. One answer was like, I don't know. Another answer was like, I think I'm gonna do it for a while. And the third answer was, man, you kidding me? I'm gonna do this forever. I love this. They followed those same 150 students 4 years later. Here's what they found out. And they categorized them into short-term commitment, medium-term commitment, and long-term commitment, those 3 categories. 4 years later, they studied the same group. Here's what they found. They found that the people that said they had a long-term commitment within those 4 years outperform and outproduce in results the other 2 groups combined by 400%. This is a real true study based on science. Here's what it proves. It proves that long-term thinking produces outrageous short-term results. You got to come in here with a long-term thinking to produce short-term results. I mean, and this is a paradox, really, because you're thinking, well, let me go give this a try. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to have a long-term thinking first, and then you can produce a 400% more results in your life if you go have that attitude. And of course, that attitude is a never quit attitude. Developing the proper mindset is simple. You got to have a desire. We talk about this, you got to have a white hot burning desire. You got to bring your work ethic. A work ethic is key. You got to have commitment. I mean, I believe that commitment, I heard once, is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood that you said it in has left you. So you got to have that. You got to have a positive attitude. Everything that happens to you is good. You got to have a enthusiasm and urgency. You know, 80%, write this down, 80% of this industry is energy, 80%, 20% skill. How much energy are you going to bring this? Enthusiasm is contagious. Enthusiasm comes from the Greek word entheos, which literally means God within, energy from within. You got to let this thing from within come out. And so have urgency in this. We're doing this right now. You got to be coachable. All successful people, all leaders are coachable. In fact, all great leaders were first great followers. And all great leaders also understand that in some areas, even as today, in some areas, they're not going to be leaders. And they're going to let other people take the lead because they're better at them than that. Leaders recognize, in fact, here's what I know about true leaders, that they drop the ego quick. They don't have no ego. They drop the ego quick and say, you know what, you're better than this, so you handle that. And they just get really good at being the chess player that's positioning the chess pieces. That's what great leaders do. And I recognize that's over. So you got to be coachable. You might be a successful entrepreneur right now. You might be a successful doctor, fantastic. But in this industry, in this business, you got to come in with an empty cup. You know, I love what Paul St. Pilser says. Paul St. Pilser, an economist for presidents. I mean, he's incredible. If you haven't read his book, incredible podcast he has. Here's what he said when he coaches Fortune 500 entrepreneurs. I love it. Here's what he said. He says, spare me your brilliance for 90 days and let me show you how to do business. So I'm going to tell you this. For those of you that are professionals out there, I love you. Trust me, I don't know you, but I love you, and I can tell you that because some people say, David, how can you tell me I love you? Well, have you ever met someone and you met and say, oh, I don't like this person? Well, it's the opposite of that. I haven't met you, but I love you already. So here's what I can tell you. It's like, spare me your brilliance for 90 days and let us show you how to do this business. And I'm coming here with an empty cup. Whatever Mr. Michael On says, I'm going to do. He says jump, I'm going to say, how high, sir? It's because I'm coachable, and I'm going to remain this way forever. You know, I have one of the things that I do for my attitude is that I read affirmations. And I'm going to read to you some of my affirmations that I have right here. Here, look at my affirmations. Look, every day my income increases whether I am working, playing, or sleeping. And by the way, before I wake up every single morning, not before I wake up, before I do anything else in the morning, I pick up my phone and I read my affirmations. Why? Because I'm programming my subconscious mind within the first 20 minutes. Okay, so I do that immediately. First thing I read, I say, every day my income is increasing whether I'm working, playing, or sleeping. Every single day. All my investments are profitable. People love to pay me money for what I love most to do. Saving and investing money is a priority for me. I am not my body. I am not my mind. I am the dweller within my body and within my mind. I bring value to all those around you. I am disciplined in getting things done. I am congruent in my words and action. I am grateful for the life that I'm living. Every adversity brings the seed of a greater benefit. There's no such thing as failure, only learning, adjusting experiences. Every single day, I read my affirmation before I wake up. This helps me maintain a positive attitude. Let's continue. You're gonna come across people. You're gonna come across toxic dream stealers. That's just normal. Every time you're gonna say something, to go out there and do something great, you're gonna come across opposition. That's what it is. Opposition is there to help you grow. It's there to help you get better. It's the way for you to develop that muscle. This is how it works, guys. Napoleon Hill said in his book, Think and Grow Rich, one of the principles, he said that the number one enemy of the most successful people in the world were their friends, family, and neighbors, were the people that were just naysayers, not believing them. You gotta make a decision. Here's the decision you gotta make. Either you reframe how you're gonna feel about your opportunity, or they will frame how you feel about your opportunity. Those are the two options you have. Either you reframe it or they frame it, but you have to make that decision to make that happen. Now, whenever you're going out there, you're gonna come across three different people. You're gonna be red apples, which is a yes, that maybe, which is the green apples, and there's a no, the rotten apple. And remember, we're sorting. In fact, we're looking for the lookers. We're looking for people that are looking for you. I'm gonna give you, write this down. Don't seek to motivate, seek out motivated people. I have that written down within my notebook. Say, don't seek to motivate, David, seek out motivated people. I'm looking for people that want this now. And because I want it, guess what? You attract who you are. You can teach what you know, but you attract who you are. So you got to be that person yourself, of course. Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to spend 80% of your time with the red apples, 20% with the green apples, and really no time with the rotten apples. But can I give you a little perspective on the rotten apple? I've done maybe thousands of calls. I don't even know how many calls I've done. 3-way calls and 3-way Zooms. I've done thousands I've done. Just like many leaders here. Let me tell you that I've learned more. My skill sets and my development has happened more when I came across a rotten apple than when I did with a red apple. With a red apple, I didn't grow. With a green apple, I didn't grow. But with a rotten apple, I came across that person who's just suffering with pain. I mean, he just has so much pain inside, and he just wants to give you that pain and spill it to you and tell you, hey, look, this won't work because of this. I tried this in the past. My brother, sister's mother, oh, yeah, let me give you my pain. You know what? That person made me so much better, because then when I was like, man, I wrote things down when they said that. And I'm like, okay, he came across with this issue. They come across with this. And I wrote it down in my notebook. Every time I do a 3-way call, I write it down in my notebook. And then the next time I come across another rotten apple, they said the same thing. But this time, I had a response to what they said. So I was like, knocking everything aside. So remember, the rotten apple just makes you better, guys. So don't worry. Some will, some won't. Some will, some wait, some won't. So what? Next, you gotta have the attitude of just being next and nexting everybody. Some people are looking, okay? You're looking for the people. In fact, my mentor said, David, you recruit mindset and you teach skills. I'm looking for people with the right mindset, the pioneer's mindset, the guy that is out there and wants to change their lives. And I believe that's at you right now, right here in this webinar. Let me finish with this. Many times we let fear and we let pain come out of us. I'm going to give you an example, and I want to give you how you can go out there and finish strong within your business. Here's how you do it. You got to let go of pain. Here's how you do it. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that you are out there and actually, let me give you a story. Let's say, imagine this. Imagine that you're in the house and you're in the meadows and you live a house in the country. In front of you, there's a beautiful waterfall. There's just a lake. I mean, it's a beautiful. There's flowers everywhere. You own your own land. There's acres and acres in the wood. And you have a beautiful house right there in the meadow, just looking everything. It's a beautiful day. So what do? You open all your doors and you let this beautiful breeze come in, or flowers, smell the waterfall, the little sprinkles of the waterfall coming inside your house. It's just a beautiful day. But here's what happens. A skunk gets inside your house. And you get scared, so you take the broom and you try to sweep the skunk away. And the skunk defends itself the only way it knows how. And it sprays inside your house and it runs away. Now, this terrible smell is inside your house. Now, here's what you should do. What should you do? Well, you let the doors open and you let the breeze blow out that smell and you clean the house. Here's what most people do. They close all the windows, they close all the doors, and they say, never again will a skunk ever get in my house. Never again will I do another presentation. Never again will I call somebody else because they hurt me. So what do? When you close the house, what did you just trap? You trap that pain inside. And then what happens? You compartmentalize that pain. And when someone offers you an opportunity, when somebody offers you something that reminds you of that pain, you say, no, I will never open that door because the skunk will come in. In other words, I will never open the door because there's pain there. Here's what you have to do. The way you let go of pain, true growth, true personal growth begins when you open every door and you let the wind just blow that pain away. Let it go. Someone hurt your feelings, let it go. Someone told you no, let it go. Whatever happened to you in the past is not happening to you now. Let it go. It does not have to define your future. It does not have to define who you are. Let go of the pain. You have an opportunity here for a new beginning for your life with GPS. You have new mentorship. You have new business partners. You have people around you that care for you and are willing to show you and walk with you every step of the way. Let go of the past and forget about your past and let the rest of your life be the best of your life. So I'm going to go ahead and finish here and say thank you very much, but I'm going to give it back to a gentleman that I have the utmost respect. I already told you, he impacted my life unknowingly. He impacted my life, helped me make a few $1 million unknowingly, impacted me in such an amazing way. And he is a leader's leader, a mentor's mentor, a millionaire maker. And I want to give it back to Mr. Michael. Thank you, sir, again, for everything you do for this organization. We're truly blessed to have you. And we're going to go ahead and give it back to you, sir.
Mr. David Nieves, I am getting text messages from every leader right now. They're so fired up. You just blew my mind away. Thank you for that incredible training. And we see why you've done so well in this industry. You know, David is right, guys. You know, you got to have that entrepreneur mindset. You know, you got to have that pioneer mindset. You know, we're a startup company, but like I said, with leadership second to none. And when you truly understand how lucky and blessed you are to be part of this organization during this time, you're not going to be able to sleep. Right now, we're about to make history as an organization, and it gets me so fired up that not only do we have great leaders, not only do we have great product, we have a compensation plan that is second to none. So what I'm going to do right now is share with you our detailed compensation plan, and understand one thing. You're not going to get everything from one training. That is why we have a weekly system because all you got to do is continue to plug in. And the more you hear about us and the more you hear about our compensation plan, the more you're going to learn. But understand one thing, you earn and learn as you go. This is not a compensation plan or a company where you try to figure everything out and then you take action. No, 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 no. You earn and you learn as you go because we have a simple system. So during this stage in pre-launch, I just want to make sure everybody understands there's only one pre-launch in the history of a company. And as we pre-launch for the next 30 days, our main focus is going to be going out there and recruiting and building a massive team. So all the products we're ordering right now with our Pico device isn't going to come until launch. Understand, it's going to be here when we launch the company. So focus right now building the team. Focus right now understanding the compensation plan. So like I said in the presentation, there's 9 benefits of becoming a GPS influencer. And in this training, I'm going to go over all 9 of our compensation plan. But understand, like I said, we are a binary, and there are few languages you're going to want to understand as an influencer in our organization. We build 2 teams. And for you to take advantage of this compensation plan, number 1, you must be an influencer who's active, who ordered a product, and get on the VRLU subscription. That is how you're going to activate your own position. And most importantly, even though it's 2 legs, you got to sponsor one on your left, one on your right, that also becomes active for you to take advantage of all the compensation plan in GPS. Now, why does this say power leg and working leg? Because as you focus and build only 2 teams, eventually one of your leg is going to be stronger than the other. Every single week, every single month, it can flip. But understand the stronger side, we always call it power leg. The smaller size, we call it the working leg. And understand the first compensation plan is just influencer marketing commission, where you'll earn anywhere from 1% to 10% commission from the products that's being sold through your website. Now, we only have Pico and VRLU for now, but you saw our future services. We're going to have a lot more starting this summer and as we launch our company. So the first way, simple. Wholesale, retail, 1 to 10%. Second way we get paid is GIM, also known as Group Influencer Marketing Bonus. And all that means is this: as you build 2 teams, you're going to get what's called business volume on the products that are being sold. So as of now, the Pico G2 device is worth 400 business volume. The VRLU contents is worth 100 business volume. And every single time you have 100 point on your left, 100 point on your right, it creates a cycle and a paycheck is gonna come. We pay out weekly on this portion, so understand 100 is the cycle. In this case scenario, if you have 200, you just had 2 cycles. So how much of it is per cycle? Well, only 10% of the company's volume is going to get paid out in this portion. Just know we put $1 there, but we're going to have what's called an average as the company is at least 90 to 120 days old. In South Korea, as of now, it's been roughly $2 to $4. So just imagine every time there's a cycle, $2 to $4, and the maximum you can earn on this portion, like I said, it's $500,000 cap on a monthly basis. But remember, why this part is so great is all we do is 2 teams. There's no limit to how many levels. All that matters is volume, 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 and we're gonna make a lot of money doing this. Third way we get paid, okay, is what's called the check match. Now, I love this portion because we get rewarded for developing leaders. So here's what I need you to understand. We have the binary tree because we built 2 teams, but we also put the unilevel tree because as we build 2 teams, you can only have 2 people directly underneath you. But like I said, there's no limit to how many people you can introduce. So even though on this tree right here, red are the people you personally sponsor. Maybe you put somebody on your second level because somebody already took this space. That is still your first generation on this example. And though you might have recruited another person and put it on your third level, on the check match, it's still your first generation. So when you become an influencer 100, okay, you'll earn 40% on the first generation leaders you refer. There's no limit. So if you refer 20 people, you'll get 40% on those people's GIM bonus. But when you become an influencer 250, we unlock the second generation where you'll earn 30%. So the second generation, all that means is now the people that are being sponsored by the people you brought. So as an example, let's say I brought Mr. David Nieves, and Mr. David Nieves brought, let's just say, Ryan Duford as an example. Ryan Duford is Mr. Dave's first level, but my second level. And when you become an influencer 500, we unlock third levels and fourth levels where you'll earn 10% on your fourth level, 20% on your third level, 30% on level 2, and 40% on level 1 or generation. So just remember, in your back office, you can see the binary tree and you can see the graphical tree, which are all the people you personally enroll. So just remember, you just want to help people make money. That's the beauty of our compensation plan. The more people you help, the more money you earn, and that is the third way we get paid. Now, the fourth way is where I lose sleep. The fourth way gets me so fired up because on top of the GIM bonus, on top of the leadership match bonus, on top of all the products you go out there and market yourself, every single month, you can earn additional money by just staying qualified, like I said, at these two positions. So when you look at the requirement, it says working leg, assuming your power leg is at least the volume requirement of your working leg or more. So how do you become an influencer 500? All it means is 5,000 influencer volume on your working leg, which means your power leg has more than 5,000. So when it's 5,000, you earn $500 outside of the other bonuses we talked about. I'll give you an example of what's influencer 5,000. All it means is 50,000 in a calendar month, and you'll earn additional $5,000 the following month on top of all the bonuses. Influencer 10K just means 100,000 on leg 1, 100,000 on leg 2 in an entire calendar month, and you'll earn $10,000. Now, you know what I love about binary? Because as you get involved at the beginning during this pre-launch, and because we can only have 2 teams, all this volume doesn't have to be from people you personally enrolled and built. It can be spillovers from your uplines, people you don't know, people that were placed on your team. It's all collective effort where all we're doing, because we don't care what level they are, where they are in our team, is just to help people continue to generate volume. And all of this adds up for you, where eventually the top position is capped at 200,000 in just influencer level bonus. Remember, this is outside of the GIM and leadership match bonus. Every one of you should have a goal that eventually I'm gonna work so hard, I'm gonna become an influencer 200K and start making some serious money in this compensation plan. That's just the fourth way we get paid. The fifth way makes me jacked out of my mind, because in this industry, there are people that make great money, some make an absolute fortune, but a lot don't have a chance to get lump sum money at once. This is like hitting the lottery, but it's better because we're in control and we're the pioneers getting involved at the very beginning. So if you take a look, outside of the monthly influencer level bonus, the level advanced bonus to your right are one-time bonuses. And here's what's exciting. There is no time limit, meaning if you take 10 years to do it, it'll still get paid out. You take 20 years to do it, it'll still get paid out. You do it your first 6 months, it'll get paid out. You do it your first 30 days, it will get paid out. So take a look, influencer 100 to 1,000, okay? it will get paid out the following month on the 3rd week. Just hit it one time, it'll get paid out. And if you're brand new with no experience and this is your very first time getting involved in a network marketing business, everyone's on this call. Your goal, no matter what, your first 30 days minimum. And every person getting involved in GPS should be influencer 1,000 their very first 30 days. Why? When they become an influencer 1,000 their very first 30 days, they'll get a $1,000 one-time bonus, but they can also qualify to earn $1,000 minimum every month. When you hit that position your first 30 days, you should earn roughly $2,700 minimum just for going out there and hitting that position. Again, all you need is 10,000 influencer volume in your working leg. So focus on building 2 teams and just helping your 2 teams build 2 teams. It's as simple as that. Top position being influencer 100,000. They'll pay you an upfront bonus of $3 million. But here's the best part. You get everything underneath it as well for a total of $5 million. So to your right here, it's just a requirement from influencer 5,000 to 75,000. You just got to maintain it 3 months, not 3 consecutive months, just 3 months. And from influencer 100 to 200,000, you just got to maintain it 5 total months, and they'll pay it out on a breakout like this. But just know that as of now, every single one of us in GPS is 5 days old maximum. And right now, our focus next 30 days as we launch the company is to help as many of you rank advance in the compensation plan and create your very first 30-day story. It is so important in pre-launch that you focus on building a team and you focus on creating the best 30-day story where you hit the highest position possible, but more importantly, help your team create a very good first 30-day story as well. 6th way we get paid is the domestic leadership pool. All this means is 1% of the US revenue is gonna go into a pool, and every single leader that eventually becomes influencer 10K to 75K will get into that pool. Now, the higher position you are, the more points you'll have to earn more shares. All of this, you can look at it in the detailed compensation plan, but just know why we love this portion is as the company grows in US and all over the world, not only do you have an opportunity to get paid in your team, but the company's revenue as well. So our model and our comp plan is designed whether they're in your team or not. Let's help everybody because we have an opportunity to get paid on the entire company's production. 7th way is the global leadership pool. When you go 100K and above, 1% of the global revenue will go into a pool where 100Ks and above will get a share of that, which means life-changing income. I love this part because we want to help everybody win in GPS. 8th way we get paid is a no-brainer, absolute genius by Mr. Danny Bay. It's called Fast Influencer Promotion. Remember the 2nd way we get paid called GIM? What Mr. Danny Bay wanted to do was give the brand new people an opportunity to run harder than ever their very first 12 weeks by giving them 30% additional commission only their first 12 weeks. So as an example, if a new influencer, their first 12 weeks right here, let's just say earn $10,000 in the GIM bonus, well, they're gonna get a 30% additional pay for a total of 13. But not only did they get it, remember the person that sponsored them? You get a leadership check match of 40%, which is $4 grand, but you also get 40%, 30% more, okay, on their GIM, which is just a lot more money. So here's the bottom line. We have one shot at being in it for the first 12 weeks, including me, including you, everyone on this call. Next 12 weeks, let's just make 30% more money for the work we're gonna do anyways. Why? Because if it's there, let's aggressively run and take the money that's on the table. 9th way is the leadership retreats. Influencer 1000, we're gonna have a domestic leadership meeting with chairman and co-founder, Mr. Danny Bay. It'll be several days. Most likely it'll be in Vegas. When you go influencer 10K, for the next 3 consecutive months. Before September, you'll join us in an all expense paid vacation to Singapore. And when you become an influencer 100,000, we're gonna go to some exotic place around the world with all the top leaders. I love our compensation plan. I love that we can earn and learn as we go. I love our compensation plan that everything we do is based on volumes of helping people that we don't care what level they are on, who brought them in, because all it is creating volumes with our team, with our collective effort, just helping one another. I love that model, that the more people you help, the more money you earn. And that's the beauty of GPS in this industry, that you can't go to the top positions unless you help other people win. And every one of us being in pre-launch right now, just remember, 30 days is all we got, and we launch our company. Each and every single one of you should have a goal of what position you want to get to next 30 days and be obsessed about it. Because you heard from Mr. David Nieves in his mindset training that success is an all-consuming obsession. You got to get obsessed about GPS. You got to get obsessed about going influencer 200K. You got to get obsessed about changing your life. You got to get obsessed right now more than ever before that we have a shot right now to change your life and help other people change your life. If people aren't telling you you're crazy right now, that you're getting involved in VR, if people aren't telling you right now it's never gonna work, you're not obsessed enough. This is a time where we gotta get fired up and know that we have the greatest compensation plan. We have the most aggressive money on the table for upfront bonus, one-time lump sum money, monthly bonus. I mean, if you're not losing sleep right now, you don't get our comp plan. Look at the bags under my eye. I can't sleep right now because I know the people involved with us right now are gonna make so much money when they run with us that this year Christmas, it's not gonna be a Christmas like you've ever experienced before. This coming New Year's, oh my gosh, we're gonna be popping bottles, and if you don't drink, don't pop them, but we're gonna be celebrating that. Can you believe in the first quarter of 2020, with coronavirus and the pandemics, when all the craziness was going on, we launched a company during a crisis, and every one of us helped people change our lives. And look at us today, we're never gonna have to work again because of GPS. That's what's about to happen for each and every single one of you. So get fired up. Get excited. Your future is no longer what it used to be. We're gonna change some lives. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring up a gentleman that's gonna go over more about our products, and we are so blessed to have this gentleman on our team. Even prior to GPS, this gentleman has been working with VR and a company he owns for the last 2 years. He's an expert in VR industry, knows way more than me, but more importantly, he's also an expert in this industry of network marketing. You heard from his wife earlier. They have a tremendous big organization in Japan. They're already helping us in United States as well. Please help me welcome a top leader in our industry and a friend, Mr. Robert Griffin. Thanks for being on the call.
How you doing, Mr. Ron? Thank you so much for having me. And I'm going to just give it back to you, sir. I remember in that previous company, watching you motivate your groups and watching you do laps on the stage, being recognized as a top producer. I remember thinking to my wife going, man, do you see how well they take care of their people? Do you see how professional they are? Don't you wish that we had parents like that? I remember when I was asking Danny one day, I was talking to Mr. Bay, I said, will you please adopt us? Because we all along the way, we were like, we felt like we needed that type of support, sir. So I would just want to echo back to you. We're so happy that we're finally able to work together. We're so happy that you and Mr. Bay are leading the helm of this show, and we cannot be more excited to be here. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rob Griffin. My goodness, look at that. I just realized my slides aren't there. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rob Griffin. Okay, I will tell you a little bit about my background before I get these slides pulled up, so just bear with me 1 second. So I was a police detective in a little town called Las Vegas, Nevada. And so if you don't know about that little town called Las Vegas, Nevada, it gave me access to a lot of crazy there in that town. So anyway, when I was getting my network marketing journey started, I was literally in a position where my wife and I were losing everything. So I had a great job, I had a great career, I was doing well, and I was literally kicked out of my comfort zone. We were living paycheck to paycheck as a police officer, and a good friend of mine asked me a very simple question. He said, Rob, are you interested in making extra money? And initially I told him no. Some of your friends may tell you no in the beginning as well, but I went home and I was still broke. So I forced myself out of my comfort zone. I called my friend back. I said, show me what you're doing. And we got started in network marketing. I had no clue what I was doing. I was a police officer. I didn't know how to talk to people outside to tell them, turn around, put your hands behind your back, right? But I learned how to personally grow, which I'm so excited about what we're doing here with GPS. My wife and I, raced up to the VP level of that company. But when I heard Mr. Bay was starting his own company, it was a no-brainer decision, especially when he told me, oh my God, it's virtual reality, because I've already been playing in this space for quite a while. Let me tell you a little short story. So I'm a retired police detective because of network marketing, and I have a podcast. I was interviewing these two young entrepreneurs, and they were building a virtual reality company. This is 2 years ago. I had never experienced VR before. And so they said, Rob, you need to come over to our office and try it. So I traveled over to their office. I put the headset on for the very first time, and I was absolutely blown away. If you have not yet experienced the gift called virtual reality, man, you are in for one heck of a treat. I literally pulled the goggles off, and I was freaking out. And I said, oh my God, you guys are very talented. And I said, you created through software, you put me in this experience like something I had never seen. Now that company, or that company, that VR company, they partnered together. We now started building simulators for the police department and the Air Force. So listen to me closely, guys. The police departments, the government agencies out there, from Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the CIA, all of these major entities are investing millions of dollars. In fact, currently we are in a bidding contest for the entire state of California. They have this thing called California Post. They've launched a $5 million opportunity just to purchase virtual reality for all the police departments in the state of California. Can you believe this? So I'm telling you this to simply say this: you are certainly in the right place at the right time. Virtual reality is just beginning, and we're about to ramp up in ways that no one else could even envision. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of the technology. When I first got my first cell phone, I'm a lot older than most of you on this call. I had the big brick phone. Some of you may remember this. Back even before there was a flip phone. In fact, I had a bag phone back in those days. Yeah, there was a thing called a bag phone. You carried it around and you had this handset. And so technology has been racing forward. We saw the 2G flip phones come along. Then we got lucky, right? We got a 3G. And then finally the advent of the smartphone, which has completely changed our life. I remember when the wireless industry was first getting started, we all had pagers back then, and we would have to pull over and call people on a payphone. But then now we literally cannot walk around like without our phone. Can you imagine how the technology has impacted our life? 4G comes along, smartphones, and now VR, AR, and you start hearing this virtual term all over the world. It's become a very household name now, but we are going to be the first company to bring it mainstream. So to talk about where we're at today and where VR and AR is heading with now the advent of 5G, the sky is the limit. And we are the only one doing what we're doing out there in this space right now. In fact, if you're taking notes right now, I would ask you to simply write down this one simple sentence: I finally get to be at the right place at the right time. Man, that's some powerful stuff. I'm telling you, Mr. Ron's talking about losing sleep. I haven't slept well in a very long time because I understand timing. And some people go, are you worried about Facebook and Oculus? Are you worried about Apple getting involved in virtual reality or augmented reality, or Google, these major players? I'm like, no. This is not worrisome for me. This is a blessing for you and I. This tells us, it validates the space that we're in. Now, if there was nobody else doing it, the big guys were not adopting the tech, that might be troublesome for some of us. But the fact that these guys are getting involved and they are coming to play in the same arena that we are, that tells you that you are 100% in the right place at the right time. So let's talk a little bit about the industries that we're going to be participating in through GPS. This is the part that really got me excited. If you don't understand the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality, I'm going to try to break it down to you just a wee bit. Virtual reality works like this. You put a headset on and you are 100% immersed into an artificial environment. They either do it artificially through software, they do it through 360 video, which allows you to get a full immersive environment that is going to blow you away the first time you experience it. I have a VR headset in the other room as part of my other company, and I have a young son who's 17 years old, and he's a gamer, man. He's gaming all day, every day. He's like, Dad, I'm going to make millions playing video games. And I'm like, I hope you do, bro. I really hope you do. Okay. But he's got a really nice setup, 4K screens, a big, powerful PC, and he plays that game all day long. But I said, son, I want you to try something new. I took him into the living room and I put the VR headset on him and I watched as he started getting into the game. And within like 5 minutes, he literally pulls the headset off. He's breathing hard and he goes, "Dad, I'm going to have a heart attack." This is what I'm telling you. This is a kid that games all day, every day. I put him in a VR headset and he was absolutely blown away, okay? Promise me when I tell you. That's why you got to have your Pico. You got to be able to get that product out there so you can demo it with people, put it on their face and watch them become elated. It's going to be really cool. You add to that the e-learning piece, which is a big piece. Now, if you haven't done any studies on virtual reality and how it impacts learning, I have. My company has been doing a lot of studies on this. We have white papers to prove statistically that people who have learned in a virtual reality environment, they will retain 40% more information than someone who does not, maybe in a classroom or watching a 2D video, because of one word. I'm gonna give it to you. It's called focus. Because I sit in a classroom and there's a cute girl here or a distraction there, or maybe my friends are making jokes in the back of the room, very easy to get distracted. When you're in a virtual environment, you are 100% focused. The information retention is there, and you're going to experience a much better learning, and it's going to help you to get better at whatever years you're trying to learn how to do. And then, of course, you add in e-commerce and what augmented reality. Let's talk a little bit about AR for a second. AR is the mixture of the artificial world with the real world, which allows amazing things to happen for you to superimpose things that you can now see in your real world that are mixed with the artificial world. And I'll explain about that here in a second on the next slide. But let's first talk about the Pico. The Pico G2 is the state-of-the-art 4K quality VR headset that is out there right now. I remember when it first came out, I didn't really know about the Pico G2 because I mostly focused on ones that were commonly known here in the US. I did a little research. Did you know that if you compare the Pico G2 to the Oculus Go, which is one of the best-selling headsets out there right now, that we will destroy it in every single category? Faster processor, more memory, a better refresh rate. If you even know what that means, it gives you a better quality of the view, okay? It wins in every single category and certainly will be a household name in the United States because of what we're pursuing with what we're doing with GPS and the Pico G2. So when you first put it on, you're gonna have menus. You'll have a little controller in your hand that's gonna allow you to access all kinds of content. I was talking to my wife just last night about the travel opportunities. Can you imagine that when they finally roll out the travel channel for GPS, that you'll be able to go ahead and put that headset on friends and loved ones and people who want, man, can you imagine the bucket list items we can do for the people that we care about who may be elderly or maybe they're infirmed or they can't travel, and like maybe they're like, oh, I've always wanted to go see the pyramids in Egypt, you know, well, okay, well, great, let's go there. Boom, and now we're there. Or maybe you're educating your child and you want to teach them what happened back in World War II, or they've always wanted to see France. And you put a headset on them and bam, instead of reading about it in a book, watching it on a video on YouTube, they are there. You can walk around and experience it as if you were really in that place. I promise you, when you finally get the gift called virtual reality and augmented reality, you're going to be absolutely blown away. Now, let's talk a little bit about the e-commerce side and what you can do with augmented reality. I was trying to explain to a good friend of mine recently, it's kind of like a heads-up display on your car, but you know, on steroids, right? You will have the ability to superimpose artificial or graphics onto your person. With augmented reality, you can literally hold out your wrist, try on a watch and see it and experience it as if it was on your person, or change the color of your shoes, place clothing on your body. What is one of the biggest problems with shopping online? We see something we like, it looks great, but when we get it shipped to our house, it may not fit right, or maybe it's not look the way we thought it was going to look on our person. My wife bought me a really nice jacket recently, and by the time I got it in here, it didn't fit properly. I mean, wouldn't it have been nice to be able to use augmented reality and virtually try it on, put the hat on, put the sunglasses on, and experience before you purchase? I'm telling you, man, it is going to be life-changing when that stuff happens. Now, let's talk a little bit about personal development. This is one slide. When I first saw this, I really got excited because we could, for the first time, start to see some of the lineup that is going to be coming for the VRLU platform in the United States of America. And if you haven't, go in and watch the VRLU video. You should certainly go do that. Or better yet, go to vrlu.com and check them out. We're going to be learning from award-winning BMX people who ride those ramps and do those flips. You imagine being able to put that headset on and then get on the ramp with the professional rider. And you have a gentleman here who's going to teach us how to lose weight and lift weights. I like what it says right there. getting in weight training for those over 40, exciting stuff. Learn photography from one of the best in the business, or maybe you got a student or a child, or maybe yourself, you're heavy into tennis and you want to learn how to hit the ball the proper way, or learn about sake. You know, my wife being from Japan, you know, we like that sake once in a while, a very awesome thing. Or maybe learn from one of the top tattoo artists in the country. Now, this is crazy. I know some of you guys have tattoos, you won't admit it. I have a few from my undercover days back when I was a police officer, but I always wondered, like, what was the skill set behind it? And wouldn't it be neat to learn in a virtual reality environment? Awesome, more content. And of course, you have this young lady here who's a professional dancer, and there's one lady who's into cosplay. I don't know if you're familiar with cosplay, but every year here in North Texas, they have a cosplay convention, and thousands of people come dressed up as animated characters, and it just floods downtown Fort Worth every year when these guys show up. Massive following there. And of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be more and more content coming as the United States rolls out the rest of their masterclass experience, or their master experience, I should say. Now, this is the lineup in Korea. Isn't it nice to know that even though it's filmed in Korean and it's over there, they're going to be subtitled so that you and I can understand. We're going to learn from everybody you can think of: professional baseball players, motivators, and then all types of, like one guy plays competitive ping pong, and all types of really cool subjects for you to learn. Again, the goal here is to start with an initial lineup, but it will currently expand, and we're expanding on a monthly basis. So get ready for VRLU to take your learning and your comprehension to a whole new level. Now, one of the coolest things about where we're headed is what's going to happen right now. Like, we literally have in front of us this VRLU platform that's going to give you all access to all the content. It's going to allow you to, for one small fee, literally log in and consume as much as you want. Now, if you're a fight fan like me, I'm heavy into martial arts. I was a black belt when I was a young man and a kickboxer. I've always wanted to experience getting in the octagon and being trained by a professional. Now, through GPS and our partnership with VRLU, you're going to have one of the top UFC coaches on planet Earth. You can get in the octagon with him, with the fighters, and get in there and learn as if you were really in the octagon. I'm telling you, that one piece right there is going to go bonkers when this thing launches, okay? And future products are going to be daily content, where you're going to be able to hear messages from the mentors one at a time on a daily basis. They're going to be partnering with some game companies that are going to allow us to download games, which is, again, part of the VRLU subscription in the future. It's going to be subtitled in all the foreign languages if you're accessing content. And then many, many, many more, like the travel piece is going to be rolling out as well. Just to tell you that I'm excited. If you can't tell from the sound of my voice, then you really, really just don't understand. See, I have a saying, I say that life is always about being in the right place at the right time, right? Opportunities aren't missed. They're simply passed on to those that were ready and prepared to run when they got an opportunity to run. We're here, we're dedicated, Mr. Bay, Mr. On, we are with you 110%, and we cannot wait to take GPS to become the #1 network marketing on the entire planet. Now, it's my job today to get to introduce a legend. I remember when I was watching this young man go from working in the fast food industry to doing laps on the stage and motivating tens of thousands of people around the world. I was like, my God. When I was his age, I didn't have it all together like that. I was kind of a hot mess back then. But anyway, the Lord saved me and got me on the right path. And when I see young men like Mr. Marc Isaac and what he's been able to accomplish, I can only imagine what's about to happen for him and his family in the future with their role here in GPS. So Mr. Marc Isaac, it's an honor to work with you, sir, and I'd love to bring you onto the call.
Mr. Griffin, first of all, thank you so much. And, you know, I'm getting so many text messages and calls about how many people right now on this call is learning more about virtual reality and really what GPS is all about. And I'm just saying this because I'm grateful for your leadership. I'm grateful for your friendship, you and Ms. Chica. And just to have an opportunity to learn from you and just understanding more about this industry even got me excited. So thank you so much for being one of the amazing trainers that we have on this lineup today. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to close it out with the very last part. And I believe the most important part to know in GPS for you to go out there and build a massive organization and to take your business to the next level. And for those who don't know me, my name is Marc Isaac, and I've actually been in the industry for 10 years. So I started at 19 years old, and I'm currently 29. And I have to say that I've never been this excited in my entire career. just to have a chance to be part of not just a startup, but a startup with such a powerful lineup of leaders. This is, I promise you, the most powerful startup for a network marketing company in the history that it's been in business in. And also our vision and our goal is to be the fastest company to be able to break $1 billion and beyond. And I'm telling you this because you're at the right place at the right time. Now the question is, are you going to take the right actions? And so what we're going to talk about today is actually how to go out there and build a massive team, a massive organization here with GPS. And, you know, we're going to go ahead and start this training off and dive right into the information. But this is the key thing you got to understand, right? There's 4 simple steps in mastering how to build a team and how to build a massive organization. First is mastering how to invite. So we're going to talk about what to say today so you can go out there and invite as many people as possible. And we'll also show you our system that we have. The next step is we got to do the presentation and the training. And I encourage you right now is to really plug into the system that we have and let the leaders go to work for you. You know, let them go out there and do the presentation. Let them do the trainings. And if you feel confident enough to share the information to people, then you can step up to the plate. You know, people ask me, Mark, when can I start presenting? When you feel confident enough to go out there and start presenting yourself. And guess what? That's different for every single person. And if you go for those 3 steps, and the 4th step is repeating it over and over and over and mastering the basics, you can go out there and build a big organization. So a few things to keep in mind. Construct a list of everyone you know. Never prejudge. And the bigger the list, the more success you're going to be able to see. See, it's so unique because I remember when I was sitting in front of Mr. Michael on, and I was making a list of everyone I knew when I first got involved in this industry. Right? I was a waiter. I was a college student. I didn't know really what I wanted to do in life. I just want to make a lot of money and have a lot of fun. And, you know, I remember him saying, Mark, what's your reason why that you got involved in this business? I said, I want to retire my parents. And for those who don't know, my dad was the vice president for engineering for his company at the time. And my mom was in the medical field, living in separate cities. So I was trying to find a way to retire them. And I remember he said, then you got to make a big list. And I made a list of the people that I thought would get involved. I put a list of people that I thought would have the money. I put the list of people that I thought that would like and be intrigued in the industry that I was in at the time. And I remember making a list of 5 people, and he said, Mark, it doesn't look like you want to retire your parents. It looks like you still want to make $2.15 an hour as a waiter. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, your list shows your actions and shows your intentions. He said, if you want to retire your parents, you can't do it with a list of 5 names and numbers. You got to go out there and make a massive list. And I thought to myself, I said, you're so right. And so I literally went through my phone. I went through my social medias, wrote everybody I could think of on that list, whether I knew them or not. If I had their information, guess what? I would call them. And that's what got me really started in the right direction. But most importantly, it also set the right expectations for the team that I was building. Because instead of telling my team to make a list, a big list, I would show them the list I have. So a leader, understand, leads by example. They show the way, they know the way, but most importantly, they go the way. And that's one thing that I really encourage everybody on this call today is make a list of everyone you know. Because the reality is this, we will be the fastest $1 billion company in this industry. We will be what is going to make known the virtual reality space to the masses. I promise you, you are seeing it right here and right now. So if that's the case, I want you to think about this for a second. It's not a matter of if people are going to hear about GPS. It's a matter of when they're going to hear about GPS. How would this feel for a second? What if you didn't talk to somebody? What if you thought that, oh, they're already successful. Oh, they're not a big tech fan. And that was how you thought. And what if someone else that's not in your team invites them to see a presentation, that individual gets involved, and that individual next few years of time becomes an influencer 200K. And that could have been in your organization. How would you feel? Would you, some of you right now, I know you're sweating. I know some of you right now, you're like, your heart is beating so hard and you're like, can this training end now so we can make some phone calls? That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's happened to me before my previous company. It's happened to many people that I've seen. If you don't talk to them, someone will. Have you guys ever heard of this before? Everybody knows anybody within 6 degrees of separation, meaning that if you want to know a famous actor or actress, like one of my favorite actors is Will Smith. If I want to meet Will Smith, I know someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone within 6 degrees of separation knows Will Smith personally. So if that's the reality, and if that's the case, every single person here knows someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows the next influencer 200K. So if you don't talk to that person, if you don't teach your team to talk to those people, if you don't lead by example, this is what's going to happen. The person that you know that knows the person that knows the person that knows that 200K, someone else is going to talk to them that's not in your organization. So I highly encourage you, take this seriously. Don't treat this like it's a $99 business. Don't treat this like it's a $1,000 opportunity. You got to treat this like a multi-million-dollar opportunity. So you got to make a list of everyone you know. Don't prejudge. And few key things: have enthusiasm. The last 4 letters of that word is I am sold myself. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. When you invite, speak with a different tone, speak with more confidence, speak with exclamation marks and periods and not dots, commas, question marks. Don't talk like that. You gotta speak with a different tonality, and you have to have emotion behind the words that you say. It's so crucial. Have urgency and be exclusive. Even though we have an open company Zoom presentation on Monday to Fridays at 7 p.m., right? Make it exclusive. Send them the link, but tell them, hey, it's invite only. You can't get on unless you have this access code. But I want to make sure that you're on. I don't want to send this to you, because if I send this to you and you don't get on, it's going to make me look bad. See, that's what you want to do, is you want to be the person that really tees it up correctly, that you make it exclusive, so they feel special, that out of all the text messages in the world, they got that digit that they could put on the Zoom app so they can get access to the next biggest thing. So be urgent, be exclusive, edify the presenter. I learned this the very hard way, because I thought that when I got involved in the industry of network marketing that I had to know everything right away. And I'll be honest with you, guess what? Everybody on this call is very new to the virtual reality space, and everyone is new in GPS. So we're still learning. We're going to grow together as a company. This is the startup phase for all of us. So the best thing that you could do is talk about the person and not about all the details. See, so many people are focused on studying the roots instead of just picking the fruit, meaning going out there and focusing on what's going to drive the business. See, understand that products don't move people. People don't move people. Move people move people. See, how come you have people? And there's some crazy stories right now that there are people that I used to work with in a previous company that recruited more in less than 5 days here in GPS personally than they did last few months, few years in a previous company. But how is that the case? The case is because they're excited, they're moved, they know, they believe, they understand that this is the best opportunity that will enter their lifetime. So you've got to edify the presenter and never make yourself the issue. Have confidence, never beg. Remember, you're doing them a favor. Without you showing them the gift of GPS, guess what? They're not going to have an opportunity to break out their cycle, maybe break out of their 9 to 5. So you're giving them a chance to go out there and think outside the box. So keep it simple. Say less to more. I always train my team, always be the movie trailer, not the movie. Okay? Let me say this again. You got to be the movie trailer and not the movie. What does the trailer do? When you're inviting, right, you got to be like a trailer. The trailer, if you ever watch the trailer, it gets you to want to watch the movie. It gets you to want to know more. It gets you to want to think, hey, what's going to happen next? You know, when the Avengers Infinity War came out, when Avengers Endgame came out, when all these big movies that are top in the box office that broke records, guess what? It's because they had such good trailers. But understand, they don't play the trailer once. They don't play the trailer and push it out one time and expect people to see it and get it right away. No, the information that you push in front of people to see is the information that's going to get in their head. So if you're not talking consistently about GPS, consistently talking about the opportunity, you're not going to go out there and build the biggest team that you could possibly build. So say less to more, but also understand one thing. It's all about timing. It has nothing to do with talent. What does that mean? See, one thing we can't control, myself, Mr. Michael, Mr. Nieves, and all the amazing trainers that we have, Mr. Griffin, like none of us, even at our position, we can't control what happens in people's life. Can we all agree? We can't control if someone's going to get laid off or furloughed. We can't control if somebody is going to get a pay raise or a promotion. We can't control any of that. But what can we control? We can control if we invite them or not. See, if you take good care of the things you can control, my mentor, Mr. Bay, always said that you don't have to worry much about the things you can't control. So it's our responsibility to understand that if you talk to someone at the right time, if someone just got laid off, just got furloughed, maybe they just got fired, guess what? If you talk to them about if they're open to an opportunity, they're going to be more open-minded. But if someone just got a promotion, if someone just got a raise, if someone's having their best month in their career, and you ask them if they're open to making extra money, most likely they might not be open. So it's not about talent. It's all about timing. So the more people you talk to, the better chance you're going to hit somebody at the perfect time with the opportunity of GPS. So a few things is invite as many people as possible to the Zoom presentations, okay? And this is one thing that I want to share with you too. That's very, very important. When you invite people, okay, we're going to show you the schedule, we're going to show you the calendar, and we're going to show you a script in a bit. But what's important to understand is this. When somebody sees a presentation, okay, they're seeing it for the first time, and it might not hit them right away what and the magnitude of the opportunity is in front of them. But if they see it again, guess what? They're becoming more knowledgeable. And I've learned that knowledge removes fear. When people don't make a decision to get involved, and for some of you on this call, you know, you've been inviting some people already and you're thinking, 99 bucks, what, 700 bucks to get involved in an opportunity like this, where you can go out there and there's millions of dollars on the table if you put in the work, if you're patient and you put in the training that's required to be at the top position. Are you kidding me? And it doesn't make sense to a lot of us that's on the call today. And we might look at that person saying, well, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Are you sick? Like you might be questioning what's in their mind and what they're thinking. And the reality is that they're just scared. They're just not knowledgeable. So what you got to do is you got to enroll them into another presentation. You got to enroll them into the training. See, even though we have a presentation every single day that we're going to have together that we can all plug into, if you do presentations throughout the day, after the presentations at night, after the corporate presentations that we're going to do, the more presentations you do and you promote the next event, which is the 7 p.m. presentation central time, throughout the week, guess what? You're going to have a higher closing ratio. Help enroll new influencers immediately right after those presentations, because it's all about taking massive action. It's all about taking massive action. So this is a script that I want to share with you. And the idea of the script is to have a background, to make sure that you have really the skeleton of the invitation. And then guess what? When you get comfortable with this, when you get the idea of this, you can now spin it your own way. You can text this, you can go out there and call. But remember, one thing you can't do on a text is show your passion and your emotions. Doesn't matter how many emojis you use. Doesn't matter how many GIFs or GIFs you use. It doesn't matter how many effects you use. It doesn't matter. You've got to go out there and show your emotion. And the best way is going on the phone, picking up the phone and dialing. So it says right here, hey, do you have a minute? Find out if they're free first. If they're not free, tell them I'll call you back later, but tell them it's important. Okay, but don't continue with the invitation. If they say, yeah, what's up? Guess what? You want to continue with the script. Hey, are you open to making extra money on top of what you're currently doing? See, some people, after you ask the question, because why are we asking a question? To see where they stand. That's all we're doing. We're not asking a question to force them to join. We're asking them a question to see where they stand, right? If they say, I'm not really open to making extra money, politely hang up, move on. Don't waste your time. Stop convincing people to join an opportunity that they don't want to join themselves. Have you ever had someone try to convince you to do something you didn't want to do? Guess what? How do you feel? Do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel like why you keep pushing me, yo? Like, see, I'm telling you this simply because stop inviting people and pushing people that don't want an opportunity. If they say, hey, what is it? If they have questions and they're a green apple, like Mr. Nieves said, say, hey, it deals with virtual reality. Can I send you a link, a Zoom presentation link, so you can see what it's all about? That's all it is, right? You're just trying to get them on a Zoom. It's a lot easier now that we're using the Zoom system to be able to build this business, okay? If they say, sure, what's up? Great. It deals with virtual reality. I'm gonna send you the Zoom link to see the presentation so you can see what it's all about. It's the same thing. So when you do that, make sure you send them the Zoom link right away, okay? Key thing, confirm that they're gonna get on 30 minutes before the presentation starts, but also edify the speakers. How do you edify somebody? And what edifying means is, how do you create value? And how do you let somebody understand the person that they're gonna see and knowing the importance of what that person has done? Just say great things about them. If this person's a hard worker, tell them this person's a hard worker. If this person's your personal mentor, let them know, hey, it's my personal mentor. But you wanna make sure you tee it up right, because if you edify the speaker correctly, your guest, the prospect that you're inviting, is going to see the information with a more open mind and better attitude for sure too. So if you guys are on a desktop, if you guys are on a cell phone, I want you to screenshot this because it's so crucial and so important to have, because this is our schedule for the next month. And so we have right there, if you see right there, a Zoom presentation Monday to Friday. That's the time. So 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm in Texas, and it's gonna be consistently like that from Monday to Friday, the whole week, okay? So make sure that you actually go on our Facebook page that we have called GPS, okay? Because we're also gonna post this on there, and it'll be the main way to actually keep updated with the system so you're never left out of the loop. You know, I know there's people here that are already on there. There's people that haven't, doesn't know yet. So make sure you get on the Facebook page. And for some of the super, super, super young millennials, I know some of you don't believe in Facebook, but we're gonna need you to make a Facebook so you can get on there too. So we have that also in a Saturday. The Saturday presentation is right before the training. So 12 p.m. Central Time. We have a weekly training, okay? A weekly training on Saturday, every single Saturday, set time. We have every other week, every other Friday, we're gonna be having a leadership training. And we just had our first one with the founder and also chairman of GPS, Mr. Danny Bay, just recently. But what's exciting is that we're gonna be having one, you know, actually, if you look at the calendar, boom, right there on the 15th. So you wanna mark your calendars for that. We're gonna actually have a requirement for that. So you're gonna need a password to get on that specific Zoom link, and also a Sunday team conference call that we're gonna have also on Zoom. And so we're gonna work on making this very simple and having the same code throughout the whole month. So it's gonna be very simple. So we're working on that right now. But again, get on our Facebook page so you could keep up to date and know the link right now before we have a set one. Because right now we're still getting ready and we're still setting up. That's part of the pioneering phase that we're all part of. But make sure that you're on that Facebook group page so you're updated with the links, you're updated with the codes. So literally you're plugged into the system so you can go out there and see massive success. So screenshot this. And to close it out, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to talk about. You know, understand why we're so excited. There's only one opportunity for us to pre-launch GPS here in the United States. We only got one shot. We got one opportunity, and every single one of you on this call already has that right in front of you. The only question is, what are you going to do with the opportunity in front of you? You can give somebody a Lamborghini, but it doesn't mean they know how to drive. See, that's why training is so crucial. That's why training is so important. But understand, it's all about timing. And also, I always mention this to my friends, my family, and anyone I work with. It doesn't matter your intention. What matters is your action. Because how many of you ever heard that your action speaks way louder than your words, right? So it's the action, it's the massive action you got to take in this business for you to go out there and go all out so you can see the success you want to see. So let me share with you a quick story to close this out. It's an individual by the name of Art Linkletter. Art Linkletter, he was about in his 90s when he was interviewed by a TV show. And this interviewer was so impressed about what Art Linkletter has done. And what's crazy is this interviewer was asking Art Linkletter, like, hey, how did you become so successful? How did you become worth $90 million? And Art said, hey, it's because a good friend of me taught me a very valuable lesson to take massive action and go all out. And what's crazy is that he said, I remember getting a call on a Sunday afternoon. And this friend of mine called me and said, hey, Art, I need you to meet me in Orange County because I got to show you some of my plans and my ideas that I have going on. And Art had to drive over 70 miles to go meet his friend in Orange County, California. And I know we got some people here in Orange County. And what's crazy is this. Orange County today was not Orange County back then when Art had a chance to see how it looked like. It was just dirt, it was land, there was nothing there. And his friend said, hey, Art, let's get out of the car, let's walk through this field. And as they're walking through this field, this is what he said. His friend said, hey, Art, I have a vision and I have an idea that on this side of the lot, we're gonna have this giant mountain with water and logs coming out of it. And on this side, we're gonna have a white mountain with a train coming out of it. And right where we're standing, the heart of this land, we're gonna have Sleeping Beauty's castle and two mouse in the front named Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. Some of you know who this person I'm talking about is, and it's Walt Disney. The friend who invited him was Walt Disney before he even built Disneyland. And Art at the time said, you're crazy, I think you're delusional, I think you've lost your mind. And his friend was saying, Walt Disney was telling Art Linkletter, you gotta buy the land because it's pennies for a dollar right now, and it'll be worth millions of dollars. You'll make 20 times more than what you're buying it for next few years of time. And Art said, you're crazy, left to go to his car and missed on that opportunity. Obviously, we know that's called Disneyland. And during that interview, Art Linkletter said, I calculated that day I met Walt Disney and he pitched me the idea of Disneyland, and to have a chance to invest in real estate, he said, I lost 1 million for every footstep I took that day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's GPS right now. That's GPS right here. We're having a chance to do some unbelievable things that the industry has never seen, that people has never seen before. And that's the best part, that you're at the right place at the right time. Now the question is, are you gonna take the right action? So ladies and gentlemen, to close this call out, let's go out there. Don't wait for Monday to start inviting people. Start inviting people to do presentations right now. Go all out, go back to back, do whatever it takes. One shot, one opportunity for this pre-launch to position yourself to be at the highest position possible for when we launch in June. And so I'm excited for every single person on this call. I'm excited for your future. I'm excited to go all out with you guys, and I'm excited to go out there and help every single person on this call go influencer 200K and beyond. So let's make it happen. Let's get rich. Get on our Facebook page, and so you're up to date with the calls. And I can't wait to see you guys in our very next meeting tomorrow on our Zoom team conference call. So have a great time. Love you guys, and take care, everybody. Have a great day.